family. Welcome to the Spiritual Counseling TV network and to the extended weekly spiritual guidance for this beautiful week of November 28th through December 4th, 2022. My name is Christy Ramirez and I'm your soul coach, spiritual influencer, and motivational speaker. So we're going to expand on what I just talked about in the weekly spiritual guidance. So make sure that you do watch that video first, because as we start our conversation right now, we're gonna get deeper and we're gonna expand on these thoughts about, changing our life focus, which is definitely a huge theme for this week, and also getting things in order, right? As we shift our focus, as we take care of what's important, then things that were once wasting our time are not gonna even be able to waste our time, and they're not going to be interrupting the flow of what we're trying to manifest, especially as we step into this new year. We're needing to be very discerning and careful with the energies around us, the habits that we are undertaking currently, and the attitudes that we are embodying, because all of this affects our ability to manifest, right? The manifestation process, the alchemy process. We need to make sure that everything is in alignment, starting from the inside out. So maybe there's a lot of purification that some of you want to do this week and focus. Maybe you are just needing to practice more discipline. Maybe you need to make slight adjustments or major changes in your life. A lot of you are being guided towards a new direction. A lot of you have been detoured out of your path this year, and we're being brought back to focus, brought back to staying on track or getting on track if you've been off track. And this is where we also all meet up, right? In the middle, when everybody who has been detoured another way, eventually, if they are of the same light, if they are of the same mission, if they are of the same tribe, they will find their way back to each other, right? Like it's home. You eventually go back home, right? Back to your soul, back to yourself. And I think this is a strong message. And it's like a beautiful, beautiful smell even. Like I actually just re-perfumed and it's very powerful right now. And it's a very wonderful smell, right? But I feel like, definitely this is a good week to keep our thoughts positive, believe in miracles, and show up as our best, right? As light workers, we always show up as our best, and I feel like we're still working on the mission, because part of the duty of being a light worker is now also bringing the spirit of joy to the collective. At least that's part of my mission, and I know many others as well, especially influencers. And even though we might not always be feeling this way, this is where a lot of our acting skills come in. But more than that, it's just facing whatever it is that you're facing and then transmuting the energy. It's like being a living embodiment of what you preach. That's the real influencing process right there, right? The real spiritual influencer is that who learns how to get out of an energy and get into a higher vibe state immediately, right? When they want to, at the snap of a fingers, because that's part of the lessons that we all need to master in order to really reach even enlightenment and higher state of consciousness and just state of being. That's going to keep us light, right? In this light vibe. And I feel like there's a lot of this week, and again, purification, all of these things that help us to heal from anything that is just lowering your vibration. So again, part of the theme also of this Christmas spirit starting this week is to also simplify your life, which is going to help you to unload any stress that you've been dealing with. Maybe you've been overloaded with emotions as well. Maybe you've been taking on a lot of collective energies, and that's where we cleanse. We take a step back and we take our power back as well, right? We need to learn to be a little selfish in our pursuit of happiness without being overly selfish, right? Because obviously as light workers, we're not selfish beings, but we do need to know when to take care of ourselves and look after our well-being. Because if we're not well and we're not doing good, then how are we supposed to give to others, right? From a place of nothingness, from a place of void. It's not going to be the same as if you're overflowing with this beautiful energy. So I do think that a lot of us need to take an honest look at self, at our life, at our situation, at our relationships with maybe self or addictions, if any of you are dealing with this, self with maybe people or a relationship, literally, whatever it is, maybe with work as well. How can we bring more balance and healing into these areas that might be on the extreme level? Anything that is overly extreme in our life is not going to take you to success. It's not going to be the overachievers that win. That's been a long held belief in society that has backfired always in the end, right? Because people get health issues, people get overly stressed that they quit because they can't keep going, they get sick, right? And that's not what this mission is about. This mission is about slow and steady. It's about a process. It's about divine order, and then having patience with the journey. Because anybody who's trying to overachieve is obviously not being patient, and is obviously trying to take time into their own hands and control the situation, which never works, right? So I think that this week we're really learning the power of divine will and how to really truly surrender and what this really feels and looks like, because it might not always feel good. We might, as human beings, have the tendency to want to control the situation or want to have things our way or want to feel a certain emotion. And maybe we don't, because maybe the truth is not what it is, right, that we want to hear. And so I feel like we're learning heavy lessons this week, but it's going to help us to enter December, which is at the middle of this week, in a lighter state, letting go of all that doesn't serve us, that's just too heavy to carry for the rest of our journey at the end of this year. And especially as we start this new year, we want to just literally dump the baggage and let it go. Give it to Santa, if anything, right? And let him distribute those things that you don't need, and then transmute anything that's negative, right? Because obviously we don't want to give that on to others. We definitely don't take out negative emotions onto others or project what you're feeling onto others if it's not good. We need to learn to transmute this. And maybe this is a lot of healing lessons for some people out there who maybe have a tendency to project their own insecurities or doubts onto others, because that's never going to be good in a relationship, right, for the long term. So these are little healing lessons that might be a little embarrassing for some people, or might be even a little harsh to accept within self. Like, you don't want to believe that that's maybe the way that you are or the way that you're behaving. But these are lessons and things that we need to confront in order to be able to come on the other side. And the faster that you do it, the quicker it will be over with, right? So just get it over with and learn the lesson. Show God that you're ready for the next thing that's bigger, that's better, and that is the right thing for where we're going in the future. And the future starts this new year. So there's no waiting, there's no procrastinating, and there's no taking on this baggage into this Christmas spirit, because the Christmas spirit is about preparation for the new year. So you definitely don't want to be hanging on to loose ends, things of the past, heavy baggage that are just distracting you, that don't need to be distracting you at this moment. Especially out of all the times of the year, this is the moment that you need to be aligned more than ever, right? You need to be purified. You need to be solid in your joy and in your confidence, knowing of your divine beauty and your divine grace, because that is what God has given us to use for the mission, to show up for the people, to heal, and to be this love. So let us use this in the right way. And of course, you know, I want to finish off with this message, but I feel like there's more as we look into our oracle cards. As you all know, these are cards that I use only in my dailies, not in the weekly spiritual guidance, but in the extended, I do like to bring them in for further messages. We start off with the daily affirmation for manifesting a better reality. So what affirmations this week can we manifest, or can we recite to manifest? What is it that we need to work on healing? What is it that we need to confront in relation to? Let's see what messages we get. and maybe even this whole entire Christmas season. Let's see, it's getting a little difficult because maybe it's very repressed, or maybe we're resisting. So definitely don't resist as much as you want to. And if you need help with this, book your soul coaching session with me. That's what I'm here for. You can go to christianramirez.com/booking and book your session now. So this is a beautiful affirmation for this week. I am faithful, I am committed, and I am a devoted being. This is what's going to keep us in alignment, and it's definitely what's going to open our heart. This is a lot of what A Course in Miracles is also about. It's about faith. It's about commitment to the mission, to the journey, and staying devoted, right? Staying devoted to your dreams as well, believing in love. And I did feel this, you know. In order to feel this love, we're gonna need to be vulnerable, because vulnerability is a strength. We need to affirm this, that I am vulnerable, because I know that vulnerability is strength, and it's gonna make us stronger. Vulnerability will allow true intimacy into my life. I received this. So this is definitely a beautiful affirmation. I am willing to believe in my ability to create healing and happiness. So maybe this is something, a point of reflection that you need to affirm, or you need to dig deeper into about what is it that you need to be vulnerable about. How can you heal? And I love my life. How can you love your life more? What's missing in your life? And yeah, I am unaffected by fear. I am unbothered by negative thoughts. I know it is an illusion and therefore does not enter my aura of peace, light, and sacredness, which is all of the ego, right? And all of what A Course in Miracles teaches us, which is a book that we read at the Spiritual Book Club, which actually we will be reading next winter, or next fall maybe, probably next winter, because this year there's just not time. So there's still the fall curriculum that I'm completing, and it will be completed definitely before Christmas. So definitely join the School of Light at christianramirez.com/school. So yeah, inhale courage, exhale fear this week. Go to work. So we are definitely working a lot this week, staying good busy, right? Staying good busy with the Lightwork mission, the little projects that God has given us. That's going to raise our vibration at the same time. So definitely continue, and balance is needed, of course. Know when to take some downtime, know when to take care of yourself, and just conquer all the things. Beautiful messages. Yeah, decide to be a good person, a good light worker. Be of charity as well. How can you be of charity this season? Definitely, I will be making some special posts about charity. I love to do that on Christmas season, so we'll see about that, what I'm gonna do this year. Last year, I actually read a book to children, but this year I want to do something even just more influencing, I want to say. So I have to think about what exactly I want to do. All right, let us get an angel message for this week. Angel messages for this week, for healing, for growing these golden wings of ours as light workers. We are needed on the journey, so stay on course. This is a beautiful message. Dear Archangel Raziel, thank you for helping me be the best spiritual teacher by illuminating my consciousness and guiding my words to lead others in the right direction. Thank you for helping me to be an inspiration and beacon of light. Love your divine child. So how can we be our best spiritual teacher? What do we still need to learn? And maybe you have learned enough, and how can you express it? How can you believe in your spiritual gifts, in your abilities to be able to guide others towards the light as well, with your gifts, with your words, with your energy? And that's what we're needing to, I feel like, build within us this week. It's like this confidence, this inner knowing and boosting of self-esteem when it comes to being light workers and leaders on the journey. Because a lot of us are new leaders, right? There's a lot of light workers who already have been on the journey for a while and maybe are already leaders, maybe at the top of the spiritual community. But there are a lot of us that are still working our way to the top, maybe getting known, getting ourselves out there. And it can be a little intimidating, right? Especially if maybe you know, we haven't been out, especially also in the public. Maybe if we've been in isolation a lot because of these development of spiritual gifts. So it's almost like we've lost touch with our social nature, with our social intelligence, you can say. And so we might feel a little awkward out there, but I feel like God is going to give us maybe this push that we need, and knowing that everything is going to be okay, and the right people are going to show up for you, to help you, to guide you, to be your friend, to be there for you if you need it, right? And if you don't, then probably they won't show up, and that's probably because God sees that you have everything you need within you. And that's okay too. Some people are meant to be loners, lone walkers on the journey, and that's okay too, right? I've met a lot of those as well, and those are usually very rare, but there's a lot of people that do like to come in union with community, right? Like myself. So definitely there's a little bit of everything for everybody. So we have another message for today. Dear Archangel Shamuel, the fifth Sephira aspect of God, which this is of the highest hierarchy of archangels, which we learned at my angel study class at the School of Light last year. And the Sephira is the highest of them all. It's basically the cosmic angels outside of Earth. So Archangel Shamuel is coming. Archangel Shamuel also helps us to find anything that you might be seeking, whether it be internally or externally. So on the tree of life, whom denotes strength and courage through severity, please manifest universal peace through helping me attain inner peace even during turbulent times. Thank you for using your vision to ensure that I and others are at peace by helping us all find what we are looking for in this life. Please help me to find my life's purpose, a better job, home, and the right relationship for me in alignment with my higher self's path. Thank you, the finding angel, for guiding me towards what I seek. Love, your divine child. This is a beautiful message this week, because I do feel like a lot of us are searching for these things, and very specific, because I'm looking for a lot of these things, you know, maybe like a way to make more money this new year definitely is something on my list. And of course, always finding this life partner for myself on the spiritual journey, which is very difficult in this modern era, right? Because not everybody's spiritual, not everybody believes in what we do, and not also everybody will like accept maybe the job that you do, like maybe the hours that you work, the time that you dedicate to the mission. And that's not even including, you know, then needing to have a family and spending time with your partner. Like, there are things that light workers who are very heavy on the collective mission that need to be clear with your potential life partner, right? And not everybody will accept this, and that's okay, because that just means that they're not for you, right? But hopefully, you know, this year we're going to be one step closer to finding that person who's perfect for us. And other things that we need to look for, right? Whether it be maybe a better relationship with self, or maybe achieving your goals. Maybe you want to find a new home. Maybe you want to find, you know, higher aspects to your life purpose. Whatever it is, Archangel Shamuel will help you find it. He is like a miracle angel. And if you really pray heavily on this angel, he or she will help you find it, right? And I say that because most angels are androgynous, right? They don't really have a sex. But that's a beautiful message for us this week, of confirmation that, you know, we are on the right track. Our angels are all around us, here to help us, support us. There's no need to be afraid. And I'm feeling very supported more than ever. You know, even having the courage today to be here on camera, you know, again, after those weeks that I have like those little solitude moments, it's so hard to get back on camera sometimes, because it's like trying to get out of that in my head energy and then trying to like transmute it into a message. It feels good though to do it, but it's like that transition, right? That's difficult. And I feel like this is a message that can apply to everybody, that whatever transition you're in, from maybe breaking bad patterns, old habits, addictions that are not serving you anymore, it's just that little phase of transition that is difficult. But once you take that first step, then game over, right? You've made it, because that's all it takes. It's that first step. For me, it was just simply preparing everything to get ready. And then I know that by the time I finish getting ready, I'm gonna feel like in the role, right? And I get myself ready for performance, get myself in that character, in that alter ego, you can say. But more than anything, I get into my higher self, and it's what helps me to be my best self, right? Because that's of course what I would like to present to all of you, always, for all of us to be inspired and raise our vibration. So apply this to any area of your life that maybe you're lacking courage, or maybe you need to have more faith in yourself. Believe in yourself, and just believe in the transition by just taking that first step. And then just letting the rest unravel by just taking the following steps in the order that it's meant to be, right? And then you'll be done with it, right? You'll do it, and you'll feel good about yourself, you'll feel proud. And then that's how we also achieve goals in life, right? It's by taking that first initiative and then just following through on them. And it's usually the follow through that is more difficult than the first step. Even though that first step requires that much more courage, the follow through then requires the discipline, the daily ritual, the commitment, the responsibility, the growing up, the adult in you, right? And if any of you have something that you're very passionate about that requires discipline, you know, a lot of my passions on the side and hobbies are actually not just like just fun spare time things, although I do have a couple of those. But a lot of my passions also require discipline. Like they are lifetime kind of passions that it's not something that I can just quit for like a month and then expect to get results, right? So it's like a daily thing and an hourly thing. And that's what really shaped my character, right? Just like sports does to anybody who grows up in sports, who grows up with like maybe being in the army as well, right? These are situations and initiations that really shape our character. And being initiated into God's army as part of this Lightwork mission will do the same. When you wake up on the spiritual journey, again, like I said last time I came up for the extended, there's no going back. Because in the real army, if you decide to back out, once you've initiated, once you've learned all the secrets, once you've been trained and given all the benefits, there will be consequences, right? Like even jail time to the extreme. And metaphorically, that's what happens on the spiritual journey as well. There's just no backing out. So you need to find the will and the strength and a way to just keep showing up in whatever way that means. And learn to love it. And of course, God will give us always a duty that we love to do, right? God is not cruel. God is good. And He will have mercy on us. And He will be compassionate with us. And He loves us. So we need to trust this. And we know that we're blessed, right? And we will receive even more abundance by consistently showing up. So definitely make this the mantra of your life journey. If you're a newbie on the spiritual journey, learn this lesson from day one, because it will take you far in other areas of your life as well. Because God will reward you where you want it most. And God knows your secrets, right? God knows what's really in your heart. There's no need to reveal it to God because He already knows. So trust in this, trust in yourself, trust where you're at. Trust that wherever it is that you're at is exactly where you need to be. You're learning exactly what you need to learn. You're at the perfect place at the perfect moment. And know that whatever the holiday brings for you this season, it's what's meant to be brought to you in your life for a reason. And appreciate it, embrace it, and be grateful for every experience. Try to remove expectations so that way we don't have expectations, and whatever it is that shows up is even better, right? Because we had no expectations in the first place. I can tell you that even before the holiday started, I was surprised at things that showed up as opportunities that I had in my heart that I actually wanted, and it showed up in unexpected ways, in a different way, but actually in a better way. So that's how God surprises us miraculously. Take it as a living example. He will do this for you. So trust Him, give it to God, and let us have a beautiful season this year for Christmas and for the New Year's and of course for next year. So have an amazing and beautiful week. And make sure that you check out my Instagram at @ChristaRamirez_soul coaching for a little behind the scenes counseling session, a little extra 15 minutes where I give you more hands-on tools for this week according to this week's energy. Part of the subscription, so make sure that you subscribe, only $2.99 a month. And then check out my story for free for extra messages, of course, and behind the scenes. And I'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching. Namaste.